we always said, boy, once we get 1 year's experience under our belt, we'll really be able to do this like clockwork. I don't know if that's the case because now we're working with 1 year's experience. Our goal last year was to provide what had been in place the year before. And we had a lot of really fantastic ideas on changes and improvements. And as president, one of my biggest challenges was convincing everybody to hold firm. Let's focus only on what was provided last year because we don't know what we're this year are really kind of adding those improvements that we talked about all of last year. Some of the things that we definitely want to do is structure the clubs that the kids and the families really want. We put forth a major effort over the last 6 weeks of pushing out the surveys. Those were the surveys that actually we posted. We appreciate that. And we got pretty good feedback from the parent community, from the teachers, from the kids each grade. And we're compiling all of those results. We're really taking a look at, okay, we know what we had in years past. We tried to mimic that last year. What do we want to do? What does everybody want to do moving forward? So our club structure might be much different next year in the way of what we offer. We also know that the clubs and sports have always been geared more toward the middle school, the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We know for a fact next year that we will have more clubs geared toward K through 5. This year I think we only had 2 clubs that were open to K through 5. I don't think in years past there were any, but next year we would like to, if we can get the volunteer base. So if there's a club, it's open K through 8. I think that's probably the biggest thing that we would like to deliver next challenge. Well, this is probably our biggest challenge is going to be the volunteer network, is finding people who are willing to take, every other Tuesday evening off to run a club on behalf of the kids. And the clubs are pretty popular. This isn't a small group of 5 or 6. I mean, we had a couple of small ones, but we had clubs that were in excess of 20, 30 kids. And that's a lot to manage on a regular basis. 6 months. Actually, I guess it's 8 months. Yeah, that's a big commitment. That's a really good point. So it wasn't just that the board lacked experience, but every volunteer that we brought in hadn't done that before. And we haven't overlooked that. We've kind of been compiling over the year our summertime list. So we've got this summer to implement any changes to get organized for next year. And probably the top 2 things on that list is the club handbook and the coach's handbook, because we recognize right away that folks didn't have the experience. So we hope to provide a lot more in the way of guidance and ground rules and structure to the folks who step up and say, I've got the time. However, very similarly, I don't know how to run a group of 20 kids. I can't even manage my own 3, whatever the case may be. So we're going to be putting that together this summer to make it a little bit smoother for those that step up.